All right, we are recording.
Cool.
welcome, everybody, to the Healing She Got Faith show. This is Lily, your self love advocate, and we have a wonderful co host today.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm invading. I'm invading the show.
Yes, yes. So this is Marvin, everybody, and we are actually, well, I'm stealing his title. We're doing a mashup.
That's
So
it.
I'm stealing his term. We are doing a mashup today. So, Marvin, you can tell a little bit about yourself, and then I can tell a little bit about myself for your peoples.
Well, I'm glad to have kicked in the door and jumped into your show, the Healing She Got Faith show. My show is called Motivational Change with Marvin, and of course, I am Marvin McQueen II, and definitely get an opportunity to help someone grow as I'm growing myself, not just being motivated with quotes and things like that, but we really get specific into certain topics. And so today, you all are in for a treat
Yeah.
because Miss Lily is on here. And so I'm ready. I'm ready to talk and ready to get in her business. She's ready to get in my business, and hopefully we'll get in your business too.
Hopefully, yes. And yeah, it's probably the two most realest hosts. Listen, the conversations we be having. So we might
Yes.
we might step on some toes, but we okay with it.
They ready. They ready. It don't even matter.
Yes. So I'm Lily. I'm your self love advocate. I am the founder of Healing She Got Faith, which is an organization really directed for adults who are grieving and really trying to have that authentic self love. Not like that cute self love on social media, but that authentic, that ugly, the stuff that we don't like to talk about. And so I am all about, you know, going against the trenches, really challenging people because I really want people to heal. I really want to see this world healed, especially with everything going on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think everyone, what I have totally learned about Lily is that she's really serious about that self love, that growth, um, because we cannot love the world unless we truly love ourselves, take care of ourselves, grow from there. It really pulls a whole integrity piece. It's almost like your work ethic when you're at work. However you work for somebody else is pretty much how you're going to work for yourself. And so we have to do that same thing. And I am an advocate of it. I have learned so much behind the scenes, y'all. So I am ready to uh, experience the growth, the healing from it.
Yeah,
I've been learning a lot in the last few days about healing. So
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Let me just tell, since we giving each other flowers, let me just so I actually have been like, I need to reach out to Marvin because if you've been following me, I have my writing program going on, and I've been trying to launch that for a long time. And I'm like, I need publishers, I need people who know how to write, and so I'm like, I need to contact Marvin. I need to contact Marvin, and then I contact him. Now he helping me. Whole time I'm like, I'm gonna get him some clients, I'm gonna get him some coins, and I'm gonna do this, and whole time I needed the
yeah,
service.
we need
So,
it. I think that's funny in itself too, because sometimes we do put others in front of us a lot, and then you're like, you know what? Shoot, I needed that help myself. So
okay,
yeah, I'm
okay,
grateful for the compliment. Grateful.
definitely, definitely. So I definitely appreciate you. I'm real excited about this show. I'm excited about the collaborations. If y'all are not in my writing groups, y'all gonna miss out because Marvin is definitely making an entrance. So y'all better sign up for next year.
I'm kicking in doors.
Yes. So, on the Healing She Got Faith show, we always do an icebreaker, which we pick affirmation cards. My favorite deck lately has been this mindful message deck of cards.
Oh, okay.
They have just been coming from my life. So, we're going to stick with those. I do have three new decks coming in. So, Marvin, you have to come back on the show again so we can test out the new cards.
Let's do it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, this not the last time you're gonna be on my show too. I'm
No,
telling you.
no. So how we usually do it, you tell me how to split up the deck. So you can say like down the middle, split into threes, and you can say like on your left hand, pick three cards from the front, three cards from the back. You let me know.
Okay, let's see. Let me think of my spades days. I need to play spades. Matter of fact, I need to run somebody off the table. I'll say so. Let's see. Split it down the middle.
All right.
Take the right deck and put it on top
Ooh,
of the other,
all right.
and count down 8 cards
Ooh, all
and pull
right.
that ninth card.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and number 9. Hold lightly. I take the things and people that come into my life lightly, not holding on too tight so that when it comes time for them to go, they may go smoothly. This does not mean I love any less or not value, but that I am open to the changes of life.
Wow, that's wow. That
Ooh,
I am open to the changes of life. Let me tell
but-
you how crazy that is. Quite now, I see what you're saying. It is coming for your life. It definitely is. It definitely is. Like personally, I've been just handling transition.
mhm,
Some days I handle it well, and some days I straight suck. I'd be like, I don't like this. I don't like how this feel. And it has to do with people.
mhm,
Letting some people go. I don't. I didn't. I never thought that I held on tightly, but I do hold on to what people think of me,
yes,
how they perceive me. So if their response is a certain way, I'm kind of like, okay, I didn't mean it like that, even though I meant it like that, how I
yeah,
said it.
yeah.
And so I'm like, I didn't mean it like that. And so here I am, running back, being passive aggressive,
Ooh, that's a word.
accepting things that I don't want to do, that I
Mm,
never liked, and I'm being nice.
yes,
And at the end, I'm the one that held on tight and not really paying attention. So wow, that does like close me up from growing and
yes,
changing.
yes, yeah. Oh my gosh, that was a word. So all I can think about is our conversation from yesterday. Okay,
Ah,
let's go. That yesterday was a private conversation between us, but when I was reading it, I'm like, dang, like we was both just talking about letting people go or like how who we used to be in our core group of like support system, our village, and how our village is changing. And for me, I told you yesterday, like I'm really praying and looking for like friends who are protective.
mhm.
Because I was that person who was always holding on. And like you said, like, oh, I mean it that way. I was just playing.
I meant that junk. I know I did.
Yeah. Whole time I'm suffering. I'm telling you I'm playing and I'm in the car crying.
Yeah, yeah. The brothers too, the men too. We know too. We be crying. We may not use regular tears, but we cussing or something. Something going on inside, and we just don't feel that support.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you said that though. And you get my journal, you get my men's journal in the mail.
Yeah.
But that was one of the reasons because I would get my male clients that would say that like I don't feel supported or like I have a male client right now where he's going through a breakup and he just needs to know like women don't hate him. He's
Uh,
younger, he has multiple kids, a long term relationship, and he feels like she just left, but he feels like he's not loved. And he really encouraged me to like create a space for like a man to be like, hey, if you need to cry, if that breakup hurts you, if that loss of a job hurts you, if looking at your kids hurts you, like in whatever way, because one of the things he said to me, he was like, I mostly got boys. I don't want to
mm,
teach them to grow up and be hard like I had to. Like I want them to come to daddy and say, like, daddy, my feelings are hurt right now. And I just thought about it. I'm like, like you said, men cry differently. So
yeah.
my male clients have really encouraged me to look at it from that perspective. Like, okay, like you may not cry like me. I'm a boo-hoo, honey. You gonna see
Yeah.
my face gonna be red, but
Yeah.
like a man might sit in silence. Oh, he might write a song. He might hug his youngest baby, like or like. Like I know a father who he just hugs his baby girl. Like he's just like, listen, that's the only softness I got right
That,
now. I
that's
just
it. That's it, man. That's it. I'm like that about my baby girl. Give her a hug, and she just give me the most genuine hugs. Even though she's a little past, she's in the teenage age, and normally they don't like nobody touching them. Period. But I don't know what it is. She may feel like, okay, Dad, I got you, I got you, I got you. Yeah, I can play with my dog and all that stuff, but it's not. It's definitely not the same way when it comes from men. We do have a lot of silent moments. And y'all, I can't wait to get my journal. I can't wait to get my book.
yes,
She
I
she
can't
she
wait.
sent it to me. So once the people drop it off, I'm gonna go ahead and get started myself.
Yes, I'm so excited that you got one too. You're one of the first people, so yes,
We
I'm
ready. We're gonna
so
put it on the
excited
map.
for that. Yes, yes. All right, you ready for my cards?
I'm ready.
So my cards, when I was shuffling yours, actually two of them fell out. So I always take that as okay. I need these. These are
Okay.
these are mine. So one of them, the first one says, "Unique lives. I respect everyone's individual decision and way of life. We
Mhm.
are each on our own unique journeys." And my way isn't the only way. My job is not to change others, but to simply love them. And the second one is, it's not personal.
Wow.
I don't even want to
Wow.
read it because I think we already know. People's reactions or opinions of me are really not about me at all. People tend to project their own insecurities or fears onto one another. So when someone speaks unkindly to me, I'll remember they have something going on that has nothing to do with me.
So I can't take it personal. God dog it. Okay.
I just read something this morning right before when I was doing my journaling, and it
Mhm.
said, I no longer view people how they treat me is how they feel about me, but it's really how they feel about themselves internally.
Mm.
And I believe that recently, with a lot of relationships that I've had to let go, I've recently realized that people really are on their own journey. And I know like people like, but Lisa, like you the self-love advocate, you the grief queen, like you know this stuff. And it's like, I do know it. But when you get hit with so many people like losses at one time, you start to question yourself, well, is it me?
Right.
When yesterday I ended up talking to one of my friends and spiritual mentors, and she was like, it's not that people don't like you, it's that people don't understand you and they don't know you.
Mm.
So they can't appreciate you because they're not understanding your healing journey and what you're doing. And and I hear this from everybody.
Right.
I'm very authentic in my healing journey, which people are not used to the ugly parts that we don't like to share.
Right.
Like
Right.
I told you this yesterday. I'm not an entrepreneur that I'm gonna sit up here and tell you, oh, I'm so successful. Nah,
No,
we
I'm
we
struggling.
struggle like we struggling.
Yeah,
Like
man.
I might, having that honest conversation. I might have to go get another job to fund because we hit a plateau, or I might have to not let go of my dreams, but adjust
Yeah.
to help fix them. But it's not like, oh, go quit your job today, be an entrepreneur. When I worked at White Castle,
Hmm.
life was a little bit more simpler.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, man. Working for somebody else is great. The only bad part is by the time you put in all this time with someone else, you may not see the fruits of your labor that you've
Exactly.
done, and that's why we choose entrepreneurship. We
Exactly.
choose it. We choose it. That's interesting. I like the quotes. I like those, and I think you were supposed to to get both of them. That was definitely meant to be,
Hear them all.
a great confirmation of what we was really discussing since we first met.
Yeah.
Those things. I'm shocked. I like those cards. I like those cards. You made
Yes.
me want to get me a different deck of cards. I think
Hey, I
mine
got you.
mine a little different. I can't think of the name. I know it came in a black box, but it has quotes from like celebrities.
Oh, I have
Yeah,
one of those decks coming. It's
yeah.
but mine are early '90s female rappers.
Okay.
I have a debt. I have a debt coming, but yeah, I have one
Hmm.
of those.
That
Well, I
makes
have
me
it coming.
think. That makes me think of an idea. We'll talk about that later. I like that. That makes me think of an idea though.
Okay, I like when Marvin has ideas because that means we both on the winning team.
Yeah, that's you got me thinking now. Okay, okay.
Yes, yes,
Let
I
me make
love.
a note. Let me make a note of that. See, y'all are everyone is in y'all in our stuff.
In our business right now.
Yeah. Okay. I made a note.
What you say? We kicking doors open.
That's it. We not we kicking doors in. I
There you
don't
go. We kicking
we
doors
kicking them
in.
in. I don't man no. I don't have time to be sitting there turning no knob. We just it's a swinging door that
Listen,
close.
we just chopped it down. Let's go.
That's it. That is it. Dang, that's man.
Yeah.
Those are some good thoughts. You know,
Yes.
something you said too. I think that I want to dig in for just a second.
Ooh.
Letting people go.
Ooh. Let's talk about it.
Letting people go. I think most times when we think of letting people go, we always think most people attribute it to I'm letting someone go so I can become better,
Yeah.
or I'm letting someone go because they're toxic.
Yep.
They're this, and the blame game and the pointing fingers
Hmm.
starts happening. But I think there's a different viewpoint that we can think of letting people go.
Let's talk
Sometimes letting
about it.
people go is because of us.
Yes.
Um, Maybe we are not in a place
Mm.
to handle their relationship anymore.
Yep.
Not that it's toxic, not that it's bad,
Mhm.
not that it may not be reciprocal, because we can kind of forgive. Maybe you didn't treat me like I treated you,
Right.
but it's okay because
Yeah.
of me, because of my character, because of my integrity. Is me. I'm good. I'll let that all go. But at some point, I think directions change,
Yes.
and um, my father used to say it like, you don't want to double back so much.
Hmm.
When you're driving and you go in one place here, map your directions out, that it's a priority to you, to
Yes.
where you're headed, to where you're going. And sometimes my priority is not their priority.
Yep.
Letting them go doesn't mean I'm disconnecting,
Yep.
but I am detaching myself, because I'm pulling you, you pulling me. We go in different directions, and it's a strain.
Yes.
And so I
Yes.
think I think we get into a place of trying to become understanding in a strained place.
Yes.
and
Yes.
and I think the way we could change it is, you know what, it's okay to let it go. It's okay, you do not talk every day.
Mm.
And I think being me and my personality, it's probably best that I don't talk to some people every day.
Every day.
It's just me. That doesn't mean we're not friends or anything like that, but we do have things to take care of. And so if I'm working, if I am doing business, if I'm networking, if I'm building a business relationship, if I'm building a healthy relationship, period,
Mhm.
it may not be good. It's okay. Certain personalities don't work together in the same room. That doesn't mean you're a bad person.
Right.
Like she told you, hey, you are a genuine person. Period. They
Mhm.
don't mean that they don't like you, but they just don't know you.
Exactly.
And I think when we do get to a place of knowing ourselves, then we'll let go of a lot of those things that are not necessarily not good for us, but they don't fit anymore.
It's that that's the word. I love what you said there because I have a perfect real life example that
Let's do it.
just ended. Okay, so I was on the dating scene probably for like 2 years.
Hmm.
Somebody special.
Okay.
And recently, I was just kind of like, I just don't feel that we're on the same path no more.
Mm,
And so I was hesitant to tell people because people pretty much knew about us. People knew we had traveled together. We were working side by side. Like the energy there was so good. And so I was hesitant to tell people because I was at that place where I was like, he's not a bad guy,
right.
but we can no longer do this together. It's not that
Mm,
he's bad, it's not that I'm bad, but it's that if we do continue this, it might turn bad. But
yeah, that's
but
it.
just like dog him out, like it wasn't about toxicity, but it was about at some point I realized we grew apart. And at some point I realized his goals and my goals didn't align. And I was healing. I was actively healing, meaning I was in therapy and I was just finding stuff out about myself. And it came to a point where I was like, I don't necessarily know that I'm actually ready for what I think I'm ready for.
Mm, yeah, yeah.
Because as I'm healing, that little Lisa inside of me is starting to come out.
Mm,
But also, too, that young man was also doing his work to heal. And it just came to a point where I was like, I just don't necessarily know that we can be here with each other.
hmm,
And my healing is winning this battle. Like,
I like that.
my healing is winning this battle.
That needs to be a priority. The
Yeah.
healing piece needed to be, yeah, man. That's so real. I
Yeah.
just, I don't know. I think that healing. Nobody tells you though
Mm-mm.
that the isolation
Mm-hmm.
could be a part. It may not be forever, of course, but it could be a part of your healing journey.
Yes. And I think it's important to talk about that one because typically, especially in like spiritual societies and professional societies, we're taught you are not allowed to be alone. But we're never talking about that isolation period where you almost have to be alone because you've been surrounded by people so much of your life
Hmm.
that you don't know yourself. You don't know, and that was a wake up call for me. I came to realize, and I talk about it in my first book. I came to a point where I really didn't know what I liked. I didn't know my
Mm,
favorite color. I didn't know my favorite food. I didn't know a hobby. What was a hobby?
yeah, yeah.
I didn't know that. Like literally, people would be like, "What's your hobby?" I'm like, "Helping people."
And be like, no, no. My therapist would say, no, that's not it. No, that's not it.
So, we don't talk about that isolation piece. And like also, and that's why I say like authentic self love because we don't talk about the hard stuff, the ugly stuff, the things that it takes to actually heal. You have to look at those ugly parts. You have to address it. I have been looking for a therapist that would help me dig deep. And it took me quite a few times. A lot of people don't like to hear this. I probably went through 12 therapists before I found a therapist who was like, okay, Lisa, we're starting with your family origins.
Right. I'm with you. Totally with you.
Oh my goodness. I feel
Jelly,
like we're in rehab right now.
I'm totally with you. It's like, okay, wait a minute. Yeah, you're not gonna work. You're not gonna work. You're not gonna work. It's like, okay, now you're just kind of repeating the same stuff I just told you, and that's not gonna work. I
Yeah.
like that challenge that they gave you. Hey, we're gonna start from the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah,
And, you know, we talked about it at the beginning of the, like, well, prior to this show, but like, it to me it's almost been harder because neither one of my parents are here, so as I'm discovering stuff I don't have them to call and be like, you remember this, hey, tell me your perspective on this, or not to say that it would have been that easy if they were here,
of
but
course.
like because they're not here I do have to do the research myself. I do have to ask those hard questions to other family members. I do have to go back into that suppressed memory of like, okay, let's peel this memory out. Let's
Yeah.
let's let's do it because that's the only way I'm able to heal. Like I have to remember that old Lisa that I kind of was like, she's dead and gone. We're new. We're here. Nah, she's
No,
still
she over
there.
there. Yeah, she sitting in the corner.
We gotta pull her back out.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. As I say, Lil Marvin. That's what they used to call me growing up, Lil Marvin. As a matter of fact, I still have people call me that, which is really funny and hilarious because I'm like, I'm grown. What are you talking about? But I understand. They knew me, growing up then, so and I don't mind it at all. And I thank you for being real. With the talking about both of your parents are gone. I recently lost. I ain't gonna say lost. He went home. That's how I say it. He went home. He used to say that. Yes, I'm saying, hey Pop, I called him Pop. I never say Dad. I always say Pop. Hey Pop, how you doing? He was like, I'm good. If I was, he said, I'm not homesick. If I be in bed, I'd be homesick. And then yeah, I go home, and I know he's talking about going to heaven and stuff. But man, to call him one more time, like Fridays was our day that we talked. It was almost as if everything stopped on Fridays on both of our jobs.
Right.
at both of our jobs. He was a principal, and so it seems like that was the easiest day for him and a cool day or whatever. And he could sit in the office and we would literally talk for a couple of hours. No one would bother him or anything. I was like, look at these kids. They straighten up. And so Fridays became like our day
Yeah.
that we dealt with and talking. So missing those particular conversations, you
Mhm.
know, run into some, like you said, running into some problems like, all right, hey, I was thinking about this. What you think about this? And not being able to do it anymore and then having to like journal it, write it down. I don't know if you go through this process. Think about it, write it down, rethink about it, read what you wrote, and then rethink about it again. And it's like here I am going through all these steps by myself.
Yeah.
Yes, my mom is still here, and we talk and everything, but she has her own battles.
Yeah.
She has her own thing. I mean, married close to 40 years.
Mhm.
The way she said is for 39 years and 26 days
Ooh, down to the day.
down to the day. When she say that to me, that does something to me. I'd be like, what's next? Because I don't know what to say. But I was like, hey girl, you got this.
Mhm.
You got it. You got this, and I'm gonna make sure you have it.
Yeah, I got you.
Being your son, I'm gonna do my thing. But I definitely, to be real, to be authentic, that's the good, the bad, and the indifferent.
Mhm.
All of that stuff is a part of our journey,
Yeah.
and not everybody needs to have access to that.
Mm-mm. Oh my God, that's a word in itself. Okay, that's a word in itself. So I just got done reading this book, "Grief Is Love" by Marissa Renee Lee. She worked for President Obama during my
Marissa,
brother's.
call us.
Right.
Call us. We're
Listen,
gonna tag her
we
in this.
emailed her. She emailed us back, so we can get
Hey,
a chain email going. Okay.
that's it.
I just read her book, and she was talking about the loss of her mom. And pretty much in the book, she talks about how the day that they wanted to launch my brother's Keeper Initiative,
Hmm.
she pretty much had to tell like Barack Obama's team, like, hey, I have a family emergency that day. I can't. And her boss being like, well, if you can't be there, we can't launch that day. And so I brought that story to my therapist because I thought that was so interesting. I was like, because on the days that my parents passed away and on their birthdays, I typically don't do anything except do something in their memory. So, like, typically with my dad, it's going to the coffee shop. With my mom, I probably got a mimosa or some ice cream. I do something that they would have been doing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So my therapist brought to my attention, she was like, well, there's a couple things that we can take from this story. She was like, one, everybody can't be in your business. Because
Mm,
she actually didn't tell them that I can't be there because it's the day my mom passed away. She said, I can't be there because I have family business. And my therapist brought to my attention, everybody can't handle what you're doing. Which is
right.
why when you go to the coffee shop on the days that you miss your dad, people don't understand, like, coffee. Why would you do that? But
Right.
that's a connection to my father. And
It's
then,
my sentiments. That's right.
yeah, yeah. And then two, boundaries. I'm not working on those days. Those
Wow.
I'm not working on those days. That's my boundary. I understand that you God. I understand that you the president, but that's a day that belongs to me.
Wow.
And to
That's
go,
huge.
that's, yeah. And to me, that goes deeper. Just as somebody who has studied grief and as somebody who like tries to support adults in grieving, is we don't know how our bodies are going to react.
Hmm.
Typically those days become triggers. So
Yeah.
I could say, yeah, Marvin, I'm gonna record with you on October 4th. That's the day my mom passed away. But come October 4th, we just on the screen looking at each other.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you like, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing, but I ain't talking.
Yeah.
We don't know how our body is gonna react. So that book is so good, and just her stories and just how relatable they are, and like to hear you say, um everybody can't be in your business.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people not gonna understand your grief process at all. Even if they've been through it, they still not gonna understand it.
Because you handle things differently than I handle things.
Mhm.
I'm not you. You're not me. And we have our own area. I just told my mother a couple of weeks ago, I said, hey, you got to find your own grief groove. Get in that lane. Do what you do. If you're gonna cry, cry. If you're gonna eat something, eat something. We exercise later. We know how to get calories off. We know how to do this and do that. But finding something to do. And I think as for me, I probably haven't said this out loud, but as for me, my father passed on my birthday. So I'm 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 honestly in this place to not even celebrate my birthday. And people are asking me, "What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?" Now, y'all, I'm about to turn 40, so it's gonna be the big 40 for me. And everybody's. I've watched my friends, I've watched associates, I've watched people on social media. When they get their 40, they do it big. But for
Yes.
me, it's like I don't know what I want to do. I don't know how I'm gonna handle it. I do not know. Like you said, just gonna sit there and I'm like, I don't really know. And I try not to be mm, mean, quote unquote, I'll say to others when they're saying, "Hey, we're gonna do this," or "Man, I'll book you a cruise." "Man, I'll do this." "Man, man, me and the boys, we're gonna take you down to Atlanta. We'll take you to some other city that you like." And I'm like, no, I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not saying I'm gonna be uh extra sad or something that particular day. I don't know how I'm gonna be, but I know I'm not gonna be down. I may miss. I know I'm gonna miss.
Yeah.
And think about them, all those things. But sometimes you don't feel celebratory at that time.
No,
Not
no,
on those days.
no. So that's one of my biggest lessons in grief. Typically, other people are more uncomfortable than you are.
Right.
Typically, us grievers, we're like, we cool. I'm just letting my body do what it do, man.
Yeah.
But it's the other people that's like, smile, let's do this, let's do that. And you like, I just want to sit here and eat ice cream. Like,
Yeah, I'm good.
that's literally all I want.
Yeah. Give me the whole tub. I got it. Well, let's do what we do.
Like you said, we know how to lose calories. It's cool.
I know I need to get up and I need to walk. So I'm gonna go walk, I'm gonna go run, I'm gonna do some sprints, all that stuff.
Listen, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. But that is my biggest lesson to anybody supporting a griever. Let them do what they need to do. Let them have what they need to have. If it's I told somebody this, I said, there'll be days where you call off work or you ask somebody to come take the kids and you might not brush your teeth till 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And it's okay because you didn't see nobody. Ain't
Yeah.
nobody smelt you. Ain't nobody, and that's okay. I mean, don't do it every day. We don't want riots,
No,
but
I was about to say that. No, nobody to impress, right? There's nobody
right,
to impress.
right. So, but if that day that's what you needed to just sit in bed and feel your pain, because the only real way that we can heal is if we feel the pain. And see, a lot of times people want us to suppress the pain. You
True,
know,
true.
keep your head up, keep going. You got this, and it's like, right. But what if I don't want to have it today?
Yeah. And they kind of want you to do the same routine that you did before,
Yes,
which
yes,
is like the pandemic. And I know we're getting y'all, we're being real as we possibly can with you, and I hope you're learning something from it. But I'll say, even to add, even the pandemic, COVID came through. I think everybody's in a grieving process with that.
absolutely.
Not because somebody passed away, or you lost someone to that particular disease or anything of that nature, but you being off your routine.
Hmm.
There are people that has never worked from home.
Yep.
I mean, they are advocates of saying, I leave home, go to work. I take that hat off once I get in my driveway. I'm going back to my home and all that. But now you have this shared space
Hmm.
of working from home and being at home at the same time.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I think that's a grieving process. Grief is not just losing in death, but it's losing in the routine as well.
Ooh, that's the word because you don't even know. When I bring guests on my show, the segment is called Grief Beyond Death.
Yes, yes. Now I
That
like
is the
that.
word. Yeah, it's called Grief Beyond Death. And I always talk about the pandemic because what a lot of people didn't realize, and I think this is just the most simple example of
Mhm.
grief not being about death. Our kids grieved being at school because we have
Ooh,
to remember
yeah.
our kids are taught. from the time they're 5 that you got to go to school. So when our society decided, okay, you're no longer going to school, you're going to be at home, we're going to give you these computers, and now you have to do school at home.
Wow.
Your teacher is now on a computer screen. You got to think about it. These are babies who they were used to seeing their buddies every single day
Every day with no problems.
with no problem. They
Yeah.
ate breakfast together, they ate lunch together, they played in the sandbox
Yeah.
together, they learned their ABCs together. So we took that from them as a
Yeah.
society. And so I look at it on a bigger picture, right? We're a grieving society because a lot of us lost a
Yeah.
lot. Jobs, homes, kids, relationships. You know how many people I know that went through a divorce during the pandemic? You know how many relationships? When I say
I
people
won't even
was
say nothing about that.
when I say people was grieving left and right,
Yeah.
we didn't even realize it. We just thought, again, we just gonna make it happen. We just gonna no. We needed to learn from that. And I still say, like, COVID gave us the opportunities to learn, and
Yeah.
a lot of us missed that.
Yes.
We missed it.
Yes.
We were so mad that we had to be locked up in a room. We didn't even appreciate that you finally had time to rest. You know, you always complaining that you ain't never slept.
You gonna sit your behind down now.
You never slept with your laptop in your lap and got paid for it. Missed,
Exactly.
missed that
That's
opportunity.
all of these benefits that you received down there, and it took it 2 years, and you're still doing the same thing.
Mhm.
Man, you better take your journey serious.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, no, and I always tell people like I lived in New York during the pandemic, so it was hard because we had these
Yeah.
strict curfews.
Yeah, y'all got hit hard with that.
Oh, we were the hub. We were the hub. Like I tell people, it was kind of traumatic living out there because all the morgues got filled up, all the hospitals got filled up to the point where the parks they started putting corpse in the parks, and people were donating their trucks to hold bodies. And at night around 11 o'clock, midnight-ish, you would hear the authorities going around, going into homes that they had got called like, "Hey, we think these people passed away." So they're going to these different houses, picking up bodies that probably been in their apartments for 2 or 3 days at this point. And so
I
I
never knew that.
Yep. And so I would go out in the morning. I would go to the park. That was really the only time I could like really be outside. So I go to the park. It was a group of us. We never knew each other, never knew each other's names, but every day we was at the park at the same time. We
Yeah.
walked around, we played. They had like a little dance thing, and I journaled and picked my cards, and then I would be there for like almost 2 hours, and then I go back home because again, it was very strict on what we
Yeah.
could do.
Yeah.
That's the only time I could be outside, but you could smell the bodies.
That's
You could
serious.
smell
Wow, that's serious.
them. And I didn't realize how traumatic that was until I came to St. Louis. And
Mhm.
St. Louis was nothing like that. Mind you,
Wow.
I grew up in St. Louis, but at that time I was living in New York and I came back. And people in St. Louis wasn't taking COVID serious. I mean, like New York, you can go to every corner, get a swab. They was testing people. I had got tested so much in New York. You come into St. Louis, they want to charge you $100 to get swabbed.
Yeah.
I said, oh no.
And people making money off of this stuff. Yeah, how you making money off of the disparity? You know what? Let me not talk about that. That's America.
That's a whole nother episode.
That's America. Sorry. Wow. Hmm.
So, and I feel like a lot of us we took for granted like that alone time we had. Like, don't get me wrong, it sucked not being able to go
Yeah.
outside, like, but we also took for granted a lot of us had the opportunity to finally rest, and we missed out on that opportunity. You know,
Shoot, not me.
me neither, honey. I was taking naps. I was sleeping. You couldn't tell me nothing.
Like at that time, I was the entrepreneur world was different, different. So we had to learn some new things, different thing, contents, different things. Even writing the books and things, working with my clients, and we're emailing, we're virtual, doing things like that. So we found a way to continue on, but it was definitely tough. Not being able to see someone, or telling someone, say, hey, we're going to print your book, but it normally took 10 to 14 days. Probably give it about 30 days. And then if someone did get it on time, they're like, "Thank you so much, you rushed it for me." I'll be like, "Thank you, Jesus," because that wasn't me. That wasn't me at all. But yeah, it looked like they had paper that day. And then you felt the low supplies and the demands that were out there, and then you couldn't promise certain things, and so all of those things. And when I tell you, in the middle of the night, in the yard, because this is a whole different routine.
Yep.
you know
Yep.
we didn't have the curfew too much, but stores were closing
Yeah.
earlier, so you had no choice. It was like, all right, you know what, there's nobody out here.
Yeah.
Go there. And crime was even low.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And when I saw that the crime was low, I was like, we are in a pandemic.
Yeah.
And so, now I'm seeing things, rising back up. And, part of me is like, yeah, we need the pandemic back, because people losing their mind. I don't know what's going on, but somehow, somewhere, we're just not learning our lessons.
Man, I think that's what breaks my heart the most
Yeah.
is we went through a tragedy and I just feel like people became more heartless, more
Mm,
crazy.
wow.
People really don't want to heal. People do not want to heal. And I think that breaks my heart the most because as bad as COVID was in some aspects, it's exactly what we needed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I think for me, the biggest life lesson was we can't even look ourselves in the mirror.
Mm,
You so uncomfortable with yourself, you can't even sit with yourself. And you want to talk about generational curses and being the curse breaker,
yeah.
but you had the opportunity. And a lot of people, the entrepreneur world did look a lot different. And I actually wrote my first book during the pandemic. So I did the publishing and all that through the pandemic.
That's it.
Which,
That's it.
listen, it was not easy. Like you said, it was first of all, I had to sit down and write the book, and then I had to go through everything you just explained.
Hmm.
But also too, trying to write a book about grief during the pandemic.
That's tough.
I don't know how I got this book, but it's here.
Let me tell y'all something, give y'all a good secret. The reason she can do that during that time is because she got faith. That's what it is.
Hey, yes,
She,
say
she
that.
got, she got faith.
Yes, say
And,
that. 'Cause
and I
that's
know,
what it
and
was.
I know that we're hearing you talk about it, of course,
Mhm.
but I think, just for my sake, I'll say, tell us, what is your definition of healing? Because I think it's a lot of ways, a lot of factors that people say, healing is getting over something. Well, not quite, but I
Yeah.
feel you, but what, tell me something, because you're my celebrity today. So tell me, what is healing?
Healing defined by Lily is knowing, embracing, and addressing my authentic self. Knowing, addressing, and embracing my authentic self. I'm real big on talking to little Lisa. So comforting little Lisa and telling little Lisa we are okay.
Right.
We are okay. We are growing. We are safe. I know what you've been through, but look at 15-year-old Lisa. You see how she's growing? Look
Yeah.
at 30-year-old Lisa. You see how we're meeting each other? And knowing that authentic. So I don't have to put on a facade with myself no more. And I
Mm,
think once you get to that point of where you can look yourself in the mirror and you don't have to fake the funk with yourself, I think you have hit the ultimate healing journey because healing isn't linear, as we all know.
right.
But when you're comfortable with being with yourself, I believe you hit the ultimate healing point. Like, you know how like the highways got mile markers?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're starting to see them.
Ah,
We're
mile
starting to see
markers.
them. Yes.
I was trying not to let her talk about everything that was in her book, because I want y'all to go get it now. So,
Yes.
but that is, wow. That's definitely, a mouthful because the time frame that it takes, and I think a lot of people would want to ask that, but it's like, how long does this take? Oh man, it can take variety of times
Yeah.
for us to do it. And I think I saw something the other day. I cannot remember where I saw it at. I feel like it was a reel, but they were like, through healing, you may feel like nothing's happening. You may feel
Yes.
like you're stuck. But guess what? That's a part of healing.
Exactly.
I was like, oh man, that okay, that makes sense. And when you said mile marker, I was like, that's exactly a great way to think about it.
Yes. Yes. I think social media has us tricked into thinking healing is this beautiful unicorn, roses and sunshine. And this is how I think about it. You know, like when we were in high school and they were applying, they were telling us to apply to all the colleges, right? So we were seeing the pamphlets. You know, it never rained on a college campus. All the pamphlets were people smiling, the sun was shining, their books were in their hand, their book bags were on their back, and they were so excited to go to class. And then you get to college and you realize, oh, the books cost $1,000 each. Okay, cool. This campus has a lot of hills and there's no transportation. Oh, you didn't tell me I was going to be broke most days. Okay, cool. Oh, the professors, they have no cultural diversity. Okay, cool. 8 a.m. classes, never told me about that. That's great.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um,
That's across the college.
okay, never told me about that. So I think about that, like that picture, and that's how I envision healing. Healing is, oh, take a
Wow.
bath, get your nails done, find the love of your life, be the best version of yourself, be the person you needed to be. But nobody is talking about all the stuff that creates that, the tears, the
Mm,
isolation. You might lose your job, you might lose your relationships,
right.
the grief you go through. Nobody talks about all the ugly stuff because again, it never rains. We're always perfect.
Yeah.
But we know we need rain to grow.
Wow.
We know that.
We do. Yeah. Need some water.
we,
Yeah.
we need some water. We need things to keep us alive. Everything in this earth works in a cycle, and our healing is no different from that. And so we have to
So
be
the healing is in the cycle.
is in the cycle.
Did y'all hear that? I'm gonna have to. We're gonna have to write that. That's gonna be a post. We're gonna make that go
Yes,
viral. My healing is in the cycle.
my healing is in the cycle. I love that. I love that, y'all. Me and Marvin writing a book. That's it.
Just let me give my notes. I gotta do my note again. Wow.
That's it. We're writing a book. I just be putting more work on us. That's
Hey,
it.
it's cool. We can hire people. We can hire people.
Listen.
Hey,
So,
look around the room. They know that's why they're hired.
exactly. That part. That part. So, since you put me on the spot,
All right.
so you mentioned that you recently, or your pops recently went home.
Mhm.
So, what has your grief process looked like, and how has it helped you in a holistic view, not just business or personally, but in a holistic view, if it has helped you?
Um, I was. I can honestly say that I have not totally sat down. Um, I honestly hit the ground running with picking up not necessarily everything that he left behind, but those things that I am capable of doing.
Yeah.
There are some things that I cleaned up now. Me and my father, I share his name, but I always tell people we are not the same.
Yep.
He did some stuff for you that he probably should not have done. I'm gonna make you do what you're supposed to do for yourself.
Yep.
But in the same instance, I'm like still checking back on them, making sure they're okay, making sure they're good, because I know we all have to go. We all have to live life. So for me, um, definitely still grieving. Definitely have not totally embraced the sitting down.
Yeah.
Um, I had some things to kind of come up in my life with the transition and stuff. So I'm in this place of like, all right, I do need this money, but I know if I sit down, I may not make the money that I need.
Exactly.
And so it causes me to dig in deep, but then my nights and my early mornings are tough.
Yeah.
And then when I do sit down in the middle of the day and I have a thought, I'm sharing the thought with myself. Now, I have, great people. I got great support around, but I do talk to one person about my stuff, and they're always there to listen.
Yeah.
Always there. So I appreciate them very very much for letting me talk.
Yeah.
And then when I try to talk to some other people, it's almost like they want to tell you how to feel, and immediately that turns me off. So it makes my process a little harder, because I'm trying not to cuss them out.
Exactly.
I'm trying.
They don't even realize that.
They don't know
They don't
at
even
all.
realize that.
Um, Holistically, Lily, I don't think I'm good.
That's real.
I don't. I don't think I'm good. I think I'm balanced,
Mm.
level, but I'm not good. I don't know if that makes sense to some people out there, but I know you know what I'm talking about. It's like, yeah, I'm teetering this way, but I know I gotta level it out. I know I gotta do this and I do that there. But
Yeah.
it's almost as if I'm not giving the attention that my grief deserves, and I feel it.
Yes.
I feel it
Yes.
some days more than other days.
Yes.
Um, and so, being a leader, being an owner, being a dad, being all these other things, of course, you kind of don't want to show it in front of a lot of people.
Mhm.
And y'all, that's not a man thing. That's a everybody thing. It's a
Yeah.
everybody thing. We just don't necessarily want other people to know how we feel all the way.
Yeah.
Not that you're being completely silent, but you're just not being completely honest in a nutshell, with totally how you feel. So um, my process is still developing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still developing. It'll be a year come August,
Mm.
but I feel it now, and some stuff make me angry, but not pissed.
Yeah.
Some stuff make me fearful because I'm like, God dog it, I can call. I used to can call him and just ask him this,
Mhm.
and he give the best advice. Sometimes he don't give advice at all. He just let you talk,
Yeah.
and that has been major. That was like one of the top five things that my dad is taught me is to listen. So I've developed the listening piece, but he didn't teach me the part about communicating.
Mm.
But that's the part I got to learn on my own.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's yeah. She put me on the spot, but I
Ah!
ain't scared. I ain't
You
scared
are
because I'm
not.
in good
You are
company. I
not.
honestly feel in good company, so I appreciate you on that. So
Yeah.
I'm pushing.
Yeah.
I'm pushing. I'm pressing. Definitely hurt.
Yeah.
It's kind of like why. Pop was 64,
Mm.
healthy, but when this damn COVID uh came through it, that first strand, I don't know what that was.
Mm-mm.
It attacked his respiratory system, so he never bounced back. He went into the hospital. He spent 22 days in the hospital.
Wow.
Um, looking back at the records and stuff like that, they were saying he had high anxiety. That's because he's never spent time in the hospital. Never.
Is our medical system even a safe place for us? That's the real question.
That's the real question.
That's the real question. So I wonder why he had anxiety.
Yeah, and they, of course, I know they're protecting them, not letting visitors in and things like that. And I even sometimes felt like, okay, Marvin, you could have did more to try to get up there. Knowing different people, just going in, sometime maybe even sneaking in. I'm not gonna lie to you, I felt like getting me some scrubs
Mhm.
and sneaking in.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right. And I thought about that after the fact, and I was like, okay, I didn't do it. Then I'm beating myself up because I'm like, I should have did it.
Mhm.
Uh, but my sister was like, no, it's not us, it's not that. And I was like, man, it's just like we have these hard truths that we have to understand.
Yeah.
or accept when we don't want to accept them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a good question.
Yeah, I
That's a
appreciate
good
your
question.
honesty. I appreciate your honesty because I think people need to hear it. And something you said, like you said, I don't know if it makes sense, but I know you get it. And I say, if anybody who listens to this, if they're not truly in their healing stage, they probably won't get it. But anybody who is at that mile marker where they're like, no, that makes perfect sense. Like,
Yeah,
I'm balanced, but I ain't good.
yeah.
But, we here.
See, I ain't drowning. Hey,
Like,
but I'm definitely paddling. I'm definitely paddling.
I definitely got the life jacket on, but we
Two of
floated.
them. I got two of them and a noodle.
Okay. But
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate it. I think people need to hear that. I think men need to hear that. And then also too, I think we need to hear those real life conversations of what happens when we lose people. Somebody asked me that the other day, like, how are you? And I'm like, I'm not good,
Mhm.
but I'm not drowning.
Right.
I'm still pushing, but I'm doing this with a broken heart, and not just romantically, just from things like I've lost a lot of partnerships, I've lost a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Um, my business has broken my heart. Like, I'm dealing with this as I'm dealing with myself,
Yeah.
and so yeah, like. And I'm a goofball, right? So I'm the loud, goofy. You if you with Lisa, you gonna laugh, right?
I'm telling y'all, you gonna laugh. I'm telling you.
You gonna laugh. But there's some days where I can't get that giggle out.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, we're
Yeah.
here.
I had somebody tell me, they said, they asked me how I'm doing. I said, I'm okay. I just left it like that. And they was like, man, I can't wait till you start saying what you used to say. And I
Mm,
said, I'm probably not gonna say it no more. Cause I used to say I'm cool.
yeah,
I was always laid back. Nothing really bothered me. But now I'm not gonna say everything bothers me, but now I pay attention to a lot of stuff, of things that I've entertained and shouldn't have entertained.
yeah, yeah,
Some stuff I let go that I shouldn't have let go,
yeah.
and some stuff I held on to that I should have let go. So yeah,
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate the honesty. I appreciate the authenticity. And I appreciate just being real about it. I really believe that that's what we need in this world to heal and to reach the people that we trying to reach.
yeah,
And for me, that's what I needed growing up because I grew up with parents who had to be strong. So I never actually really knew how they felt. I just knew that they were these, like, to me, they were superheroes. They made it happen.
yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I ain't no superhero.
No,
I'm
no.
more like a grocery store clerk.
You're just still clear. Hey, I used to want to be Superman. I used to want to be Superman, but I found out there's a whole lot of kryptonite out there,
Yeah. I
and
used
I'll
to
be
want to
like,
be Wonder Woman. I used to tell
Really?
people, yes, oh my God, I used to tell people, I'm Wonder Woman. Yeah, I
Yeah,
retired that.
yeah. I'm security guard in the parking lot.
Yeah, I'm definitely the grocery store clerk. I'm ringing you out. I'm not like bright as sunshine, but baby, once I clock out, I'm done.
Done. That's it. Can't wait to get out of here. I'm probably gonna let your car get broken into right now.
You know,
So,
I might see it and be like, dang, I'm gonna call Marvin. He the security guard.
mm,
Hey, there's somebody out there breaking into cars. Just in case you wanted to know.
I'm gonna say they'll be all right, baby girl. They'll be all right.
And this is
Nope.
what healing looks like, y'all.
That's it.
This
That
is
is
what
it,
healing
yo.
looks like. So I definitely appreciate this conversation. I definitely think both of our audiences are going to appreciate it. I'm ready to do some work, honey. Like,
We got more. I have written down my notes and the different ideas that I thought about while we were talking,
yeah,
and I want other people to definitely get involved, with it. We're going to make. I'm not going to say we. I'm going to say I'm going to join in with
yeah,
Lily as she makes healing popular.
mm,
Let healing become popular.
yeah,
It's like, make America great again, make healing great again.
yes,
Let's talk about that self-love, talk about that whole process, not just through death, but even through your relationships, even through your jobs, even through things that you may have lost along the way. So I'm ready.
I'm definitely ready.
Yeah.
I'm definitely ready. And if y'all ready to write y'all books, listen. You got me. I'm gonna make sure the book get done, and Marvin got you on the publishing, honey. Okay?
Make sure you get in the people's face. That's what we do.
Yes.
Teamwork.
Yes.
Teamwork.
Listen, teamwork. Now we only work at the grocery store. We ain't
Yeah.
no Superman and Wonder Woman, so keep that in
That's
mind.
it. I don't know what we're gonna call it. Wonder Man Mart, Wonder Mart. We're gonna think of a name for the
Right.
grocery store.
The healing mark. There you
Yeah,
go.
that Mart. There you go. We do it all. I greet you in the parking lot. Come on in.
Okay. Listen. So I definitely appreciate you for your time coming on the platform.
Yeah.
You got any last minute prods, requests? We probably need to tell the people where to find
Oh
us.
yeah. So okay, we're gonna individually tell people how to get in contact with us. Listen, the best way for me, go to my website, marvinmcqueen2.com. Marvin McQueen, the number 2.com. There you will find all the stuff about me. You'll find the bookstore, you'll find my podcast, you'll find the YouTube page. Click on it. Follow me on all the social media outlets as well. I need some friends. I've been losing friends along the way, so I need some new friends, and I'm taking Lily friends. Okay, so
Hey.
y'all come in, do the same thing. So Marvin McQueen number 2.com.
Yes, I love that. Make sure you check him out. My website is also the best way, HealingSheGotFaith.org. I also have my bookshop on there. I have my calendar. I have the book you can purchase. If you purchase from my website, it's a signed copy. Follow me YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn. That's all on there. Like Marvin said, we losing friends, so we need more. He's not still my friends. I'm still his friends. Follow both of us on YouTube. Follow
Better.
both of us on all podcast platforms. Follow us on all the social networks. But yeah, like let's get to healing together. Let's bring this community together, y'all. I'm ready for this world to heal.
Let's do it. Let's do it. HealingSheGotFaith.org. You
Yeah,
know what to do. You know what to do. Look at this wonderful stuff. The mashup. The
the
mash
mash
up.
up. Hey, you got She Got Faith and Marvin McQueen the second.
Hey,
Hey,
grateful, y'all.
yes. All right, y'all. We will catch you next time. Be on the lookout for us because we are definitely about to drop some bombs on y'all.
That's it. And share this with one person. Share it with at least one person to let them know that, hey, grief is cool. We'll figure it out together and we're journeying and we're getting better day by day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, y'all. Y'all know how I end the show. Love you the way you love the world. Bye, y'all.